How would you describe Darren's first half?
He was great. Played about a perfect first half offensively. Started cramping at halftime. Really didn't do anything second half. But yeah, he was great. And against good teams like this, he's going to have to play really well to carry us offensively. But the best thing about tonight, in my opinion, even though it was a free-throw fest the second half by both teams, but the best thing about tonight is we won the game, with him on the bench the second half, and some other guys had to step up. So that was a good thing for us.
Bill, how do you kind of come into these exhibitions? I mean, it's different than playing a Division II team, obviously, and you want to learn things. It looked like your rotation was kind of like a normal game. Is that kind of how you guys looked at this coming into it?
That's how the players looked at it, and I'm sure that's how Louisville's players looked at it, and I'm sure Pat's staff like me, this was to me a practice deal. And we were going to play, we don't have maybe the depth that Louisville has. They may have one more guy, they play more minutes, but we were going to play 8 guys a lot of minutes, and that's because that's kind of what we're going to do. But I didn't go into it at all thinking that we had to win this game or anything. I went into it thinking, I hope that we play the way that you need to play when the lights come on and the crowd's in there, and the moment's not too big for us. So because we got so many guys just like they do. We only had one guy on our team that actually scored a basket last year for us. So that was pretty big for us.
Coach, when you have the opportunity to come into an arena like this, big crowd, in an exhibition setting doesn't count against your record. How valuable is that, moving forward, getting prepared for the regular season?
You know what? I hope it is, because I would rather, even if we didn't win tonight, I'd rather get exposed, which may help us win the first week or the second week of the season. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Louisville turns around. Don't they play Kentucky coming up pretty soon?
Week two.
Well, we played Carolina week 1 at Carolina. So my whole deal with this game is how does it prepare us to play Carolina? They're our second game, and I think they're Louisville's third game. Is that right?
Yeah.
And even though there's games before that, we have one. I guess they have 2, and those games are just as important. But the preparation, what you learn tonight, and what they'll work on, and what we'll work on, and will be the same thing that they'll hopefully get better at, and we'll hopefully get better at that first week, so we are prepared to play the next game. And sometimes playing games that you're going to win, an exhibition, all it does is camouflage your heels. So this exposes them.
Yeah, Bill, do you foresee a temptation at all for some of your other guys this year to maybe be too deferential to Darren at times?
To what?
Too deferential just to his playmaking and shot making and offensive abilities?
No, I hadn't really thought about it like that, but I do think that he can play, and he can play without the ball, and he can play to create offense for others. He didn't in the first half tonight because he didn't. I mean, we needed him to go score, and that's what he was on a little bit of a heater there for a minute. But he's a guard that can see. I mean, he can force help and get somebody a shot, most every possession. So I think the guys need to learn and recognize when he's on, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to take away from anybody else's offense.
Bill, if you could humor me, this isn't a game-related question, but more the bigger picture of college basketball right now. What do you see? What do you see in terms of the body, NCAA body, or the Coaches Association, or something coming together to try and put more guardrails in place because of some of the things that have happened? A lot of people, even though it's within the rules now, a lot of people are like, we shouldn't be doing things like.
We didn't have rules for 2 or 3 years. There's no rules. And now we got a few guardrails on, and now now that they've allowed certain things to happen, now they almost want us, even though they're legal, to police ourselves and say, well, this isn't the right thing to do, so don't do it. When it's perfectly legal. It'd be like with NIL, well, yeah, you can pay them, but you shouldn't. I mean, that's a ridiculous world we're living in. I'm probably not the right guy to ask, because I don't feel like the NCAA has done a lot to help our sport in a way where we know the rules, and we have a chance to actually follow the rules. Even, you guys remember, even 2 years ago, it was one-time transfer, no exception. So schools don't recruit two-time transfers, but they have to play against them because they changed the rule after they tell you can't recruit. I mean, there's so many things that have taken place that we'll get the guardrails back on, and I think, but this is probably the time that it looks like it's the most chaotic, in large part because it's at the height of the change. It'll get better. The guardrails will get back on. Our sport is still great, but there's so many things that is going on right now that if I'm the public, I find it a little bit harder just to latch on and love it, because what makes Louisville and Kansas special is their fans watching kids grow up right before their very eyes, and those days are behind us. So we've all got to adjust.
Bill, what'd you think about Marco's return to action and 9 for 9 from the line?
Yeah.
And the Flory-Tiller combo?
I thought Bryson was great. I thought Marco, made all his free throws, and I thought he took care of the ball for the most part. I thought Melvin played great. He's 1 for 9 from the field. So we got a long ways to go to play well, but it wasn't just Darren out there. I thought the other guys did some nice things too.
Anything else?
Coach, what has it been like having guys like Jamari, Marco, and even Forey? How detrimental have they been for the culture of this team? A lot of new guys coming in, a lot of transfers. How important have those guys been for
They've been
the
great.
culture?
Yeah, they've been great. And Louisville's got very limited guys like that too, but they've been great for us. Marco and Mari both redshirted last year. Marco was hurt and tore his patellar tendon, and so Flory was the only one on our team that made a basket last year. So, but those two do as much to add to our culture as anybody does.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.